We finally have some news on the running back front here during the legal tampering period of NFL free agency. And the first major running back to come off the board is going to be Javonte Williams, inking a one-year deal with the Dallas Cowboys for $3 million that could end up reaching $3.5 million with incentives. And I'll tell you what, I love this deal for Javonte Williams, the Cowboys, and fantasy football. Javonte Williams is still, for the most part, young, not only when it comes to his age, but when it comes to how many hits he's taken at the NFL level. His rookie season, he didn't really get the full workload. He was splitting touches that year. But when you take a look at the per-touch data, when it came to broken tackles, when it came to big plays, he was one of the most prolific running backs in all the NFL during his rookie season. It was set up for a huge sophomore year before he tore his ACL at the beginning of the season. We never got to saw that breakout. And then on top of it, years 3 and 4, we just didn't see a whole lot out of him. Unfortunately, with Sean Payton, he didn't love Javonte Williams, and it turned into a carousel of running backs. Dallas has already said they're not bringing Rico Dowdle back. And that means, for right now, Najee Harris is going to have the backfield to himself in Dallas. Now, here's the thing. They're probably going to draft 1, if not 2 running backs. And who knows, maybe they add another running back on the free agent market. But as of right now, Javonte Williams is going to be the guy that gets the touches. Now, I like this from just a pure volume standpoint from Javonte Williams, because if they add a couple of rookies a little bit later in the draft, Williams could still end up being the guy. If they add any running backs in the 2nd or 3rd round, or even if they were to get a guy like Omarion Hampton or Ashton Jeanty to fall to them in the 1st round, at that point, I would be a little bit more worried about Williams losing his job if he's not very good to start things. But the offensive line is not that good right now. Losing Zach Martin is going to be a huge hole that they have to fill. And they're going to have to also build the offensive line in the draft as well. But Javonte Williams can tote the rock. He can catch passes. He is the type of running back that can really do everything. And hopefully, if Dak Prescott is healthy and the pass catchers are healthy, it's going to help if the offensive line just gets retooled a little bit. Javonte Williams could end up being the J.K. Dobbins of last season. A guy that's drafted super late that a lot of people don't talk about, that's going to give you help from a fantasy perspective. Again, any running back taken in the 1st, 2nd, or 3rd round by Dallas, it would worry me whether or not Javonte Williams will end up losing that job early on. Anyone in the 4th round or later, the statistics show that running backs taken in the 4th round or later generally do not take over the starting job during their rookie year unless it's due to injuries. 1st, 2nd, or 3rd round, then we'll worry. 4th round on, Javonte Williams could be in a smash position for 2025. And if they don't draft a running back I have to worry about, Javonte Williams is going to be an RB2 for me. I will have him inside my top 24. Now, if Dallas doesn't do anything with the offensive line, maybe I need to just take a little bit of a step back, and I look at him more as like a high-end RB3, a guy that you could draft to flex. But as of right now, especially if they spend a draft pick, his ADP come the fall, oh man, is not going to be very high. And Headliner Nation, make sure you keep it right here for the rest of the offseason. We are covering all the fantasy relevant breaking news for you right away. We have NFL mock drafts to come, NFL draft coverage we're going to be doing, player breakdown and analysis. Right now is when you get a leg up on all the competition. And of course, you'll make yourself a whole lot smarter, whether at your work or hanging out with friends. If you're here listening to the Fantasy Headliners, you're going to sound like an absolute NFL pro. But for now, ladies and gentlemen, stay safe and healthy. I'll catch you all on the next episode of the Fantasy Headliners.
Analytics off the chain, all the channels not the same.